For some drivers, problems in their car are a self-fulfilling prophecy. Let's talk about it. Welcome everyone, Mark here with UberHints. Before we get started, if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel and ring that bell icon so you'll know when I post new videos. Today's video is going to be about self-fulfilling prophecies. How some drivers cause problems in their vehicle. This is kind of an extension of yesterday's video. And I kind of predicted there are going to be some people that are going to start flaming right out of the gate, and boy, did I nail it. Now, a lot of you, and I'm happy to say the majority of you, fully and completely understood what I was getting at. But there are some people that, man, by reading their comments, you get the feeling they're the type of person that could brighten up a room just by leaving. So let's read a couple of these, and then I'm going to ask you some thought-provoking questions. Here's the first one. Drivers feel entitled to, question marks after that. You are FOS, full of you-know-what. You are dull as a nitwit. Yes, we do deal with that. Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. There is anger and venom in this person's post. Yes, we do deal with that unless you drive a limousine service and being paid. I don't know what that sentence means. Unless you drive a limousine service and being paid. Then it says, shut up! Exclamation point, exclamation point. Man, this person was keying in on those exclamation points. Most of us already know how to act. Apparently not. You stick to it and pick them up, I'll kick them out. And you can put up with the BS and make them destroy your car. And you can deal with Uber after to try to get them to fix your car. How would you like to be sitting in the back seat of that guy's car? I'm going to read the next one, then we'll come back and we'll dissect exactly what's going on here. No joke, this guy is not living in the real world. He would have us be willing punching bag for the passengers to beat on, question mark? Hell no, all uppercase. Not in my car, not on my watch. With some riders, there's only one, all capitalized. Language they understand, kick rocks, all uppercase. The customer's not always right, despite that popular catchphrase. Wow. So much anger, so much resentment, so much venom. And I'm just a guy doing a YouTube video. Can you imagine if a person in the back seat of either of these drivers' cars said one thing they didn't appreciate? These are the types of people that I imagine are the ones that yell and scream and have no compassion, they attempt in no way to understand other people's feelings, what other people might be going through. Let's start with the first one. You are FOS, you are dull as a nitwit. Okay, first of all, when you're trying to make a compelling argument, don't start by making personal attacks, because it just shows that your anger, your bitterness, your emotions are coming through, and that was the exact point of my video. What I was saying in the video is we have to learn to control our emotions. Our emotions cannot control us. Do either of these people sound like they were in control of their emotions? And they were sitting, presumably at home, just watching a video on the internet. Imagine when they have a real face-to-face encounter with a human being, how much more of that anger must erupt and must spew forward. I imagine that it must be incredibly ugly. Now, one of the people said, well, Mark, you show emotions too in that video. Absolutely. I showed positive emotions. I showed compassion. Right? And we should have enthusiasm and happiness and energy and passion. And we should show those types of emotions. Those are positive emotions that drive us and they guide us and they keep us from getting angry and conducting ourselves in a way we shouldn't conduct ourselves. However, when we let bitterness and anger and frustrations guide our actions, and in this case, the actions are just writing a comment. Imagine, as I said, being in the car with this person and doing something completely innocent, like maybe make the god-awful mistake of suggesting they make a different turn or head in a different direction than they're heading. Can you imagine I mean, I might know my neighborhood and I know when a street's blocked, or I might know when there's a lot of congestion during different parts of the day. And I might make a suggestion, hey, you might want to turn here. Either one of these people would probably chop my head off. Okay, let's go on. Yes, we deal with that unless you drive a limousine service and being paid. This is the weakest, most hollow argument, and I've heard it from several people. This is not a sliding scale. If I'm paid better, then I treat people like they should be treated. You know, and I made a comment to one of my commenters about this. Commenters, someone who left a comment. That, would you expect the person at the drive-through window at McDonald's to treat you poorly? Would you expect them to be rude to you? They're making the bare minimum. So because they're making minimum wage, does that excuse poor behavior? No. If you choose to do a job, particularly in a service industry, you do that job to the best of your ability. It's not a sliding scale. Well, I'm not going to be nice to anybody unless they pay me more. And let's say it was. You know, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? How are you going to get paid more? Well, right now, the way we're going to get paid more is by getting tips. Are you going to get tips talking to people like this? Good Lord. Shut up. All right. So far, this guy has not made a compelling argument. Everything has been emotion. That's exactly what I was talking to. When emotion takes over, people look at you and they think, you're crazy. I'm not saying this person's crazy. I'm saying that is the image, the interpretation that people will take away. I'll kick them out, and you can put up with the... First of all, make them destroy your car and deal with Uber after to try to get them to fix their car. I have never had someone destroy my car. What are you doing? What are you doing to cause people to act in such a way that they'll destroy your car? I had a lady in my car last week, and I told you I did go back to driving, and I had a lady in my car, and she had spent 6 months in jail. Why? For punching somebody. This was obviously a volatile, violent person. And we had an extremely pleasant, informative conversation to the point when I was talking to her about her experience being arrested and going to jail. Now, can you imagine that a person who is so judgmental as either of these two people, if they would, the engagement that they would have with this person? Imagine it. No joke, this guy's not living in the real world. He would have us be willing punching bag for passengers to beat on. When did I ever say that? And once again, what are you doing to entice such aggressive, violent behavior? Now, you might be talking about verbal punching bags, whatever. How are you setting up an atmosphere that is conducive to that type of behavior on the part of your passengers? Not in my car, not on my watch. There's only one language you understand: kick rocks. Do you think that mindset doesn't come through? Do you think when someone gets in your car, they don't pick up on that volatile negativity? Really kick rocks? That's the attitude you have towards people that are paying you for a service? Absolutely unbelievable. The customer is not always right, despite that popular catchphrase. First of all, I've never said that. Secondly, these things that people describe should be exceptions. They should be the once in a career, at the very most, once a year, that you get these really bitter, angry, troublesome people. If you're seeing it more than that, I would look inward and say, what is happening? What's going on? And you know what's going to happen? These people aren't. They're going to look outward. People that leave comments like this are going to be the ones that are going to be say, yeah, but you don't understand. You don't have to work in fill in the blank, my neighborhood, the time of day I work, the bars I go to, the populate, whatever. I have been in the worst neighborhoods with the worst reputations that you can imagine. I spent 2 weeks in Compton, and believe me, that's a neighborhood I stand out like a sore thumb. You know how many problems I have with people? Zero. You know why? Because I go in with the assumption that people are people, and people are good people regardless of the reputation their neighborhood may have. And you know, I left that neighborhood of Compton, feeling good about it. Nobody hassled me. Nobody gave me a hard time. There wasn't any name calling. There wasn't any racial conflict between me and anybody. Because, you know what? I didn't go in with the attitude that someone's going to give me a hard time, or I'm going to have an assumption that someone else is going to get trouble from me, or I'm going to go in there ready to kick rocks. And I think when you have that attitude, man, find something else to do. You know, really. If you think you're only going to treat people well is if you're paid the way a limousine driver gets paid. And by the way, I've known people that drive limousines. It's not that lucrative, trust me. Oh man, but to say you're only going to treat people nice if you get paid more. It's not the customer that made the pay scale, it's Uber. If you're going to be mad at somebody, be mad at Uber. Don't take it out on your people. All right. I don't know, that's it. I knew I would call it. I called that one from the get-go. I'm telling you, these are the types of drivers that we read about in the newspapers. These are, I'm not saying these people. I'm not necessarily saying these two specific people. I'm saying that attitude is what leads to all of the stories and the negativity that we as the majority of Uber drivers have to deal with. Because some of you are so angry and so upset and so bitter and you're ticked off at the world, you got to fix it. Really, you have to fix it. It starts with you. It starts inside. You convey positivity, a positive attitude, positive expectations. People pick up on it. I started this video by saying it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you go in expecting people to treat you poorly, you go in with the attitude, I kick rocks, I'm going to kick them out of my car, man, if that's what you lead with, trust me, people pick up on it. Why do you think your car's getting destroyed? Because people are in the back snickering at you thinking, what a jerk. And they want to kick your car. And they want to smear the back seat with the dirt on the bottom of their shoe. They want to do that stuff because you don't seem like pleasant people. All right. I think most of us get it. And it really is a shame that, we even have to make videos like this. But as always, what do you think of these two people? You probably read their comments and others like them. Am I missing something? Or do you think that they are setting up an atmosphere that is more conducive to negative behavior? That's what I think. Leave your comments down below. As always, I encourage you to like and share the videos. Please subscribe, ring that bell icon up above so you know when I post new videos. I'm Mark with UberHints.